Through the Alternative Avenues to Local Food Procurement project, Ecosource and Roots to Harvest work to improve access to local food in schools by blending local food purchasing and food literacy in school-based projects at the secondary level. Professional development and educational program opportunities are ways that we built relationships with teachers, a critical first step to initiating project-based learning in schools. Once teachers were engaged, we collaborated with multiple stakeholders along the food chain to test out a variety of school food projects in Durham Region, Thunder Bay, and Peel Region. It turns out, young people do like salad.
Today we're here at Durham College, specifically the Center for Food, and we're running a professional development day for teachers from Durham District School Board around local food and local food systems. We had 7 different Durham Region farmers here that offered education, like field trips, or procurement opportunities where farmers and teachers could connect around bringing their produce or their meat supplies directly into the schools.
Making sure that we can support our local farmers, the only way to do that and make sure that it's sustainable is to buy from them. I have 120 kids in my hospitality program. About 85 to 90% of all the food I bring in is local, so we're putting food on the table for our students and teaching them how to cook with local food, but also seasonal food.
I sure hope to use the local farmers that we saw today. There were some neat connections.
This afternoon they worked with Ecosource on a local food action plan, how they might incorporate a local food project into their culinary or school environments. And they also heard from Durham District School Board teachers who are doing this kind of work to get a little inspiration that these things are possible.
Even though you think you have an understanding of something, it's always nice to get out in the field. There's always something that you can take from it that might shed a bit of light on different programming that you can develop.
As the session went on, I was noticing that there were so many different areas that I could tap into and make connections between the arts and real life.
From what we heard today, there's so much interest and enthusiasm in continuing these kinds of discussions and building on the momentum to get more local food into the schools and into the school programs.
It's important to bring today's youth out to the farm to show them where their food comes from.
What we've got right here, we've got some watermelon radish. This is old sweet corn behind us. We're going to pass by the potatoes.
You can tell students about the importance of local food. You know, until they get out here and actually start picking and seeing it firsthand, I don't think it really sinks in.
This farm benefits the environment from cutting down transportation costs and how far you have to transport the food. So it's cutting down like gases and fossil fuels being used.
I want to own my own restaurant. That's what I believe in, like helping your whole area. So supporting everyone's a big deal to me. The actual care and attention to detail it takes to grow all these things, I've learned a lot actually.
CSA is community-supported agriculture. People sign up and they prepay for the entire season, and then what they get each week or bi-weekly or monthly is a box of fresh, ripe and ready from the fields produce. We are trying to help get local food into schools by supplying our CSA boxes and delivering to whatever schools sign up for our program.
The fact that they deliver these CSA boxes is just great. It's actually going to make my job a lot easier because right now I'm going out and purchasing all my food firsthand, you know, and this is a whole new avenue that I haven't even explored and haven't really thought of up to this point.
We're here at Henry Street High School today, working with Mr. Williamson's class. And his class, over 2 semesters, has been receiving a CSA box from Cooper's Farm, which is a farm in Durham Region.
The farm delivers those boxes to Henry Street. They cost about $30 with the delivery charge. CSA boxes have challenges. You're not really too sure from one week to the next what you're going to get, but I find that that is actually turned into a real positive. We open up the box, we come up with a menu together. I think it's pretty cool. Using local food in my program is really important for student achievement, student learning. I really believe that it enhances their enthusiasm and their commitment to food and trying new things.
This is a salad we made, a garden salad. We got the vegetables from the farm.
Path initiative is an initiative by the Lakehead School Board and the 4 high schools to try and incorporate more local foods into the cafeteria menu. Some of the foods are actually coming from these gardens, and other foods come from local farms.
Before I started the program, I didn't really know much about the local foods we can get in town, but now that I'm in the program, I'm learning more about it. It's opening my horizon for foods.
So I think we can come in and we can do a local food system workshop. We can talk about food miles or the importance of local food on a local economy and talk about taste. But until you get in there and get your hands dirty and you make the pickles, you make the pulled pork, you make the hamburger, and you take a bite and you're like, wow. And because they've been part of the process, the students can really connect with what it means to have that hamburger there.
I teach my students that the effect on our environment that food processing and distribution has. So I hope that what they can see is that by growing their own produce or by buying locally, they can limit that effect on the environment and they can actually support our local economy.
We're doing farm to school.
This is the culmination of what we've been working on all year.
We got pulled pork, we got cookies, there's a green salad, cupcakes, tea.
They got to focus their own learning. They got to choose what food they wanted to work with. And now there's also that hands-on component of them using that local food, and then they have to translate that information and get other students, their peers, excited about it as well. Through Roots to Harvest, I learned about the Superior Seasons Market, that website. So I've ordered a lot of food from there, and through them, it's been great. Got to meet Eleanor, that works at the Thunder Bay Meat Processing, fantastic lady. And Jody Balluz is another person that I've made a connection with. And it's really neat because in the future, I will go to these people to source food for my classes.
Today we actually had farm to school and we got to try a bunch of locally grown foods and it was just so good. The pulled pork, that was excellent. It was really good. There was a difference between farm fresh and just some store-bought carrots. There's a huge difference. Definitely local carrots are much better.
When we started this project, the students didn't really have an idea of where their food came from at all. They didn't know what was available in Thunder Bay.
The sense of accomplishment and connection to food, it's golden, and it wouldn't happen if we just talked about it. We have to walk the talk, and we have to engage kids in local food, otherwise it'll be below their radar.
My hope is that they're able to cook for themselves in a healthy way and look to the garden, look to the local producers, and just have that in mind that is important, and that is a way to not only feed yourself, but your community as well.
My name is Carrie Greco. I'm the hospitality and tourism teacher at Cardinal Léger Secondary School. We do have the relationship with Ecosource where I do purchase our garlic from them, and that is grown in Mississauga. And that's a really nice experience for the students to see. They've actually visited the garden and they've seen the garlic as it's growing, and then they can come back and prepare a recipe with that garlic.
Today I cooked sauteed potatoes with locally grown garlic.
Today I cooked honey garlic chicken with locally grown garlic.
Today I made pulled pork poutine.
Today I cooked East Coast Special.
Today I made a lobster pasta cream sauce with a Caesar salad and garlic bread bites.
The relationship with Ecosource has been really valuable to the hospitality program this year. The students have learned about the stages of production and really embraced that idea that there's somewhere very close to them that they can get fresh vegetables, and it really is important to the students. And more so, learning and understanding how to do a garden. Many of them approached me afterwards and said, you know, miss, we could use this space here and we could do a garden like that.
My favorite thing that we did was we went to the outdoor garden and we learned some gardening skills, and we got to make some fresh bruschetta while we were there. I really liked doing the gardening. It's a great skill that I thought I would never be able to do, and maybe with my family one day I can do it with them and we can have our own little garden and we can eat from our garden and stuff like that. It'd be really cool.
I hadn't realized how important it was to start introducing local food into the culinary program here. This is something that is a huge education piece for the kids who are going on to pursue careers in the industry.
Working in restaurants, you can see customers want the local foods and the support, but they don't want to go out to the farms to get it. They want to just have it at their restaurants.